Welcome to GBC Updates for Friday, May the 22nd. There are two things I want to let you know about as we head into the end of May and the beginning of June. The first of them is to do with May Mission Month. Our target this year is $190,000, and currently we have raised just over $19,000 towards that, which is kind of standard for us. We kind of don't really get going with the donations until we've heard from all of the presentations. This Sunday, we're going to hear a little bit more about our own missionaries, but we have heard the presentations from each of our major projects, including Mother's Heart in Cambodia, the Bible Society program in regional Australia, as well as Baptist World Aid and our ongoing support of the Syrian refugee crisis in Lebanon. Really encourage you to be thinking about and actually moving towards acting upon what you believe God is inviting you to give this May. As I've said before, this target feels a little bit bigger than perhaps other years. Not because it necessarily is, but just because of the uncertainty that we face. So this is an opportunity for us not only to be big-hearted, but also to be really faithful people, to place our faith in the provision of God for us and for those around us, and also to be others-focused as we consider the desperate need of those around the world. Just a reminder that donations close on the 8th of June, and if you'd like to donate, you can do so by going onto our website at gamiabaptist.org.au, where you'll find a link that will allow you to make your donation. So I really encourage you to get onto that as quickly as you can. Also, just to remind you that you can watch the extended interviews or listen to the extended interviews on the Mission podcast. And I'd really encourage you to listen to those as Jodine goes a little bit deeper than we're able to in our Sunday services. And the second thing just to touch on briefly is just to remind you about where we're up to in terms of the easing of the restrictions, in terms of our physical distancing, the number of people who are allowed to gather and congregate, and all of those sorts of things. We've been receiving a number of questions and queries from our life group leaders in particular about what the first stage of eased restrictions means for us. And because there are only 5 people allowed into your home or 10 gathered outside, unless your group is committed to meeting outside, we're really encouraging our groups to wait until we get to stage 2 to return to normal physical meeting together. I suppose it's possible for you to break your group into 2 and for one part of the group to meet in one person's house and another in another. But in reality, that means you really have 2 life groups. There's something really powerful about meeting together. And while Zoom is still a bit of a poor substitute for that face-to-face, it's better than nothing. And so we're encouraging our life groups to wait until we get to that second level of eased restrictions where you can have up to 20 people gathered at any one time, in which case it'll be easy for all of our groups to begin to meet together as well. And can I just encourage those of you who are kind of chomping at the bit about this, that this is of course bigger than just your group. I know if you have a small group of 10, it might be really tempting to try to find a way to split the group up and meet another some sort of way. But keep in mind that there are some groups that are larger than that, and even if they divided in 2, still wouldn't be able to gather together. So why don't we do this together? Let's kind of go through the eased restrictions as one and wait until we get to level 2. Again, we can't really force you to do that, but that's what we're encouraging our life groups to do. As a leadership, we're beginning to think through what it might look like for us as we get into the second and third stages of the government's lifting of restrictions. There are lots of questions that we're still working through, and we will let you know when we kind of come to some sort of decision. And of course, we have to wait until those restrictions are indeed lifted. I trust that you and your family are doing well, that you're checking in on those around you and caring for those in your circle of influence as well, as we continue to work through what it means for us to be the church ungathered in this period of time. Hope to see you at our Sunday services. Encourage you again to join the chat, even if it's just to say, hello, we're here, just so other people are encouraged to know that you are sitting in your lounge, perhaps with 5 other people gathered there as well, to participate together in the worship of God. See you then, and God bless.